matching hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Washington Redskins taking on the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
From the 31, Rosen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. A first down carry for Barkley. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
57.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rosen. Open man is Hill. He's got it.
There we go. Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
On the draw, this is Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Keep on coming, baby.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front. As we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
The tackle made by Blake Martinez. A look here on your screen at how Washington's going to line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
On second down now, Barkley. Now after the play, oh man, it's Barkley who appears to be shaken up. He's down. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And Ingram hauls it in. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really
Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Matt Ioannidis. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Second down and goal. Rosen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? That one complete to Hill. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So out comes the Redskins offense as they get their first shot. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit. Here's
Williams looking to throw on second down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A look at the starters now on the defensive side of the ball for the Giants. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, third and long. Now Williams operating from the gun and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he's got Rome. Oh, some strong running. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 31 yards there and a first down. I don't think that's what the defensive coordinator had in mind there. You got him pinned back inside the 5, and then you let him rip off that long run.
You're already anticipating the film session, aren't you?
There's going to be some anger.
Yeah, there's not going to be at the greatest hits, is it? Because they didn't hit anyone on that play. Supposed to have them pinned back deep. Instead, they leave a big crack, a gaping hole, and guess what? They're in bad position right now.
To throw again on second down. Rosen finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 44-yard line. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. To throw is Rosen. It's Hill, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Rosen to throw again. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 28. They'll run on first down. Scott. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On second down, it's Dixon. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That has to feel like a very unsatisfying drive, right? You move the ball all that way, and then you can't convert on 3rd down. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Single, single the slot.
Off the play fake, here's Rosen. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Trying to pound it in with Dixon. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Running out of the gun with Dixon. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Here's Rosen to throw. 2 straight shots on the ground now. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
Rosa's kick is good, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the 1st. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
partner. I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
One's the mic. Watch one. Silver.
They get just 2 out of it there, and it's 2nd down.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 6-0 our score after 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Williams. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. On first down, this is Geis. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. They'll run with Geis. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. To throw on third down, Williams sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
It's going to be a long day.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Williams off play action. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he knocks it through. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. They go play action. It's Rosen. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Gets this one to Hill. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. On 2nd down, it's Scott. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Mike 50. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Rosen off the play action. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Williams now from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. New York set to take the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. A run by Dixon. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Giants on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Dixon complete. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll make this a 6-point game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Here's Geis. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. The Redskins on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Williams looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Here's Williams off the play fake. He'll take a shot for the end zone, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to the ground game now with Geis. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Back to throw. Williams. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I think a lot of people ask.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Callaway, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. That time a 9-play drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And, Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? Throwing now, Rosen on first down. They complete it to Hill. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing again on second down. Rosen, he'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now Rosen, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
It's going to be a long day.
Now Rosen looking to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And a big play there on second down, but we do have a flag on the field. This is in the area where it might be coming back. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up third down. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Looking to throw. Williams. It's caught by Aguilar. Now Williams from the gun on third down. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
Hey, pick your game up.
Now a run with Geis. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He's going to float this one deep right side. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Play action here with Rosen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Rosen. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Back to throw. Williams. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Here's Tressway now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes the offense as we zero in on Josh Rosen. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 12-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll run with Harris. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Looking to throw. Williams. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the 3rd now in New Orleans. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Rosen will throw, and we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Dixon. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. Completes it to Dixon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 8 yards, 1st down as they're able to convert. Rosen now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. On the carry, this is Scott. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now it's Rosen. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw is Rosen. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. On 3rd down, Rosen. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st. A quick throw. Here's Shepard. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down now, it's Dixon. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Williams, off play action. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Williams now off the play fake. He's going to float this one deep. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. He is going to find Hill here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins 23. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Back to throw.
Completion was given up.
And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are once again going to retake the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And that is incomplete, but there's a flag down. So let's see what we've got. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Deion Jones in to drop him behind the line for a loss of a yard.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty.
Watch one. Check tight end, check tight. Check tight.
Here's Williams. From the gun, he'll throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down. Back to throw. Williams. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Steps away to his left. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they had it there so close to the goal line. A chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the fourth. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was. And as much as I want to give credit to the defense for making a play, I do tend to agree with you. That mistake, that's a chance to go in and take the lead. I mean, you're in great shape, yet you don't take care of the football. But they'll be going over that like crazy in the upcoming weeks.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Williams throwing on first down. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Williams loses the football.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
57. Coming to you, coming to you.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down. They'll swing this complete out to Hill. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
57. Mike, 57. All day, baby, all day.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Pushing through the contact. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Roughing the passer. Defense.
Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And this is incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. But now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On 3rd down, here's Dixon. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's
8 ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. 2nd and 6. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Williams. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Williams on 1st and 10. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Dixon. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And they'll indeed take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Rosen to a knee, and that ought to do it. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Giants, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.